first date. With the added challenge of trying to find love in lockdown, professional dating coach Sharon Kelly of matchmaker.ie is on the line to tell us whether you can keep romance alive via Zoom or what else you might do. Sharon, good morning.
Hi there, Pat. How are you? I would have known you from years ago, but we're not related.
We're not related, indeed we're not. Now
No.
tell us this, Sharon. The matchmaker, matchmaker.ie suggests that it's a digital thing anyway.
Yeah.
But do you believe there is a place for, a person to have a look around at all the prospective
Yep.
males and females and analyze their attributes and say, I know that A and B will really get on?
Absolutely. The matchmaker.ie, what it is it's a one-on-one dating service, but I actually do recommend online dating when people are starting off, because especially during these times, where do you start? And it's for free, so why not try that? Once you're aware that there's scammers out there and other people out there, and keep yourself open to knowing red flags and paying attention to those red flags. But yes, it is possible to go out there and meet people online and link with them and bond with them and create that happiness that everyone is looking for. People have never been lonelier than they have been now, Pat, as you can imagine. So you have to get outside your comfort zone and start meeting people through WhatsApp or Zoom or whatever form of medium it is.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you about the scammers, because it is the lowest of the low, really, to pretend you're something that you're not or someone that you're not, with the objective of parting someone from cash. That's
Yes.
really what a lot of these people do. It's not about just breaking someone's heart, it's about extracting cash.
Yes. Well, the funny thing, before I got into this, I was single. So this is about 14 years ago. I was scammed, and it is the worst thing that can happen to you, because for one stage of my life I was vulnerable and I was looking for love, and my marriage had just ended a couple of years before that, and I just didn't know where to go. And that's who they go for. They go for the vulnerable. They go for those who they feel are needy. So literally, the minute you feel that something, our gut is always right, Pat. The minute you feel that something isn't right or that doesn't make sense, say it to a friend, say it to me, say it to anyone, and just ask. Because there was even an article in journal.ie today that said a guy was robbed of 7,000 only yesterday, and it's happening all the time. And we just...
And now, before, I know we covered this before on the program, where you had, say, people living in far-flung foreign fields and saying, I'd love to come to meet you, but I don't have the money for a ticket. Now, I am due money coming from XYZ. I haven't got paid this month because of a problem. I'd love to come to see you, but I can't. And then the other person writes back, well, I could help you out, if you need it. Yeah, well, if you could just deposit €1,000 in my bank account, I'll see you next weekend. But
Yeah.
of course, that's
Well,
the end of it.
yeah.
How are the scammers working in lockdown? What excuses are they using?
Oh, they're actually going the exact same way about it, and they're saying, and I'll be over there as soon as possible, or they're saying, and they're pushing as soon as possible, or they're saying, for me to keep in touch with you, we need, they'll even start as low as €100 or €200, or for the simplest of things, and because people are lonely, they're falling for it. They're still managing to get money from people because they're going for the vulnerable people.
Now, I know when this online dating started, a lot of people were complaining that, they thought they were getting George Clooney.
Yeah.
That's what the picture looked like.
Yeah.
And instead, they got Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Is that still going on? Are people still very dishonest? Or can you say, well, I'm just putting my best foot forward, my best face forward?
Well, people are more genuine than ever, and that's because they've had this time to really get in touch with their values. But scammers will always be scammers. But the genuine ones, of course they don't want to say, listen, ladies tell stories mainly about their weight and their age. And guys tell stories mainly about their wage package and their height. And people still do this, unfortunately. And they do it because they want to get the more attractive, or that person they think is more influenced to go for them because of those tactics.
Give that to me again. Guys, say a girl answers the call, and she thinks she has Schwarzenegger, and instead she's Danny DeVito.
Absolutely, yeah. But he could be a cute Danny DeVito, and he might work out for her. But there's no point lying, because at the end of the day, if you intend to meet up, you're going to see that person anyway. So what people are doing wrong is they're not getting in front of the people. And obviously over COVID, we have to stick to our regulations. But if they're in the 5 miles now, and if you can do a 2-meter walk, but the best way to start is looking up someone on WhatsApp. You get a good feel for them. There's Dr. Helen Fisher, she's an anthropologist, and she discusses, the way our brain works and how it's 1, attraction, and 2, the personality. But the attraction is usually there, and you want that attraction first. And then you go for the personality. You say, okay, there's something there. Now you hear people say, oh, I go for his personality or her personality. But already they've gone into the way you walk into the room, the way you smile, the way you use your hands, the way you pick up your cup of tea.
How do you do that in the digital universe? I mean,
yeah.
Those who believe, it's the first kiss. If you kiss someone, there's either chemistry or there's not.
Yes.
So you could waste an awful lot of time online, and then when you do eventually walk into that room, it's kind of within 30 seconds, this is not going to happen.
Yes, yeah. You can actually, even more now than ever, pick up that vibe online. If the conversation isn't flowing, you're not, even if you're very attracted to that person, you go to say, oh, listen, this is too much work. We vibe and we connect with people that we have chemistry with. So if that conversation isn't going, you're not going to go, okay, she might be absolutely stunning, but I'm not sticking around for that, because honestly, life is tough enough without having to put too much work into it. So listen to yourself. Listen to what your self is telling you, rather than just going for that look. So because of that, people are more genuine. They are picking up, do you know what? I actually click with this person. I get their personalities. We share similar values. And honestly, Pat, it's all down to sharing those values and knowing your values.
Yeah, but you still have to have that spark, don't you?
You can create that spark over the chat. Yes, you do.
Make a spark where none exists.
No, I don't. I actually, you can fall in love with someone like a friend, but not that intimate spark where you're looking for that chemistry and that that buzz in your body. You can't create that unless it's there. So unless you have that chemistry. So
now, I was looking at an edition of MasterChef the other night, an old edition, and one of the guys was from Pakistan, I think it was, and it just came out in the course of the conversation that he had an arranged marriage. You know what this is, 2021. I think it might have been the 2020 series, but in the modern era, a guy living in the UK ends up having an arranged marriage and is very happy.
Well, absolutely, and it can happen. It's all down to our expectations and what we expect. And with people, especially in India, where they're used to, or Pakistan, where they're used to arranged marriages, they will accept what their parents or what their grandparents or who they put forward. In Ireland, the Irish and other cultures can be more fussy. I introduced someone last year, and it was just before COVID, and he was a pilot. I introduced him to this lovely girl from Limerick, actually, and they're married already, and they'd only met. So people have, if they know their values, so she wanted to get married, she wanted to settle down, she wanted to have kids. They buzzed straight away. They actually had the smallest weddings in Dublin, and they're together, and I actually can see them together for life. Sometimes that happens. It's very unusual that people fall in love and go for it. But in our parents' and grandparents' day, sure, they didn't know each other for 3 months, 6 months. They were married very quickly. So it's all down to our expectations. And sometimes
Okay, finally, Sharon, one of the Newstalk texters has been on. Sad to see that, like everything else in our world, even romance has become commodified and regulated by algorithms. People
yes.
from here on in will just use apps to filter out everyone they think they won't like, for as many reasons as you'd want. So much for the magical chance of romance. I mean, isn't that the problem? That when you're kind of using your systems, well, I like tall fellas, or I like small fellas, I like fat fellas, thin fellas, grey fellas, blonde fellas,
Yep.
blue-eyed fellas, bearded fellas, and I don't like da-da-da, that you're never going to have that serendipitous meeting with someone who may look like a geek but be a hoot to be with and sexy to boot.
Well, that's why people come to me, because I link them with people that match their profiles, and I know they won't find scammers in the matchmaker.ie, but they come to me, and I do link everything from the values, and it's absolutely important, and their needs and their expectations. Like someone who's 20 won't go for the same people who are 38, 39, who want to settle down and have kids. People who are married, divorced with kids won't go for people. A lot of them will want to go with people who've kids as well. We go for people like us. 70% of the population go for like personalities. And then we bond with those who share our tribe, our connections. When you look at your friends, they're all similar to you. We link with people more like us. So to find love, you find your match and you look for the match in you. That's what 70% of the population, and I help people do that.
You've just given me an idea for an item we might do on the program. Dating outside your tribe is a fascinating topic. We'll do that someday.
Absolutely.
Sharon, thank you very much for joining us. Sharon Kenny, founder of the dating agency, The Matchmaker.ie.
Thank you.
Interesting comments coming in. This one says, it'd be interesting to see if divorce rates drop as technology lets us all pick and choose who we meet, or maybe more people will become paralyzed by consumer anxiety and never...
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you very much.